let me go ahead and get started with this webinar. As you can see, we're doing a quick 30-minute LegFi cleanup. It really doesn't need to be much longer than that unless y'all have a lot of questions. Then I'm happy to stay on and answer all of those till they end. For your presenters today, you have myself, Hannah Gunderson. I'm a professional services specialist. And then my teammate, Abby, is also a professional services specialist. And she's going to be monitoring the Q&A chat and answering any questions you guys have during the webinar. If there's anything that she doesn't know the answer to, or she thinks maybe would be good for like everybody to know, she'll like read those to me at the end and then we can answer them in front of everybody. But even if she does reply to those by like typing in a response, you should be able to see it under the Q&A section. I think the people who are in here have maybe been to a LegFi webinar before. I recognize like a couple of y'all's names. But we have like switched to Teams to host our webinars now. So all of the Q&A chats are public, whereas our old software we used for it, they were private. So just know as a heads up, if you're typing in a question to post, everyone will see it. So just don't put any like personal identifiers. Like if you're asking a question about your member, don't say like, hey, Abby Davis's account needs to be, updated. Just keep it vague. So that way we're not putting people's personal information on blast. But if there is something that is maybe a little bit more specific, I'll give contact information at the end that you guys can reach out to. And then a LegFi specialist will be able to go over that with you one-on-one in like an email thread, or you can call in and get help. For today's webinar agenda, we have a cleanup checklist that I'm about to show you on the next slide. You can screenshot it, take a picture. It's going to be really easy, you guys. It's only 4 steps because those are probably like the 4 most critical things you need to do before summer break. There's more you can always do to clean up your LegFi account, but I wanted to keep it short, just the essential things. So we'll have 4 steps. I'll do a LegFi demo to show you how to do that. And then we have a live Q&A. So again, Abby will read those questions to me. You guys can submit them and I'll answer them. And then the last slide just has our contact information for you guys to take down if you don't already have it. For the cleanup checklist, here are the 4 items. So the first one is update your roster. Now, I guess I like kind of lied because there's multiple steps for some of these items. So maybe it's a little more than 4, but I just try to generalize it to keep it easy to follow. So we're going to update your roster. So that's going to be updating those membership types. It could be alumni, disassociated, expelled, suspended. You guys all have different membership types that you use depending on your national organization. So, maybe the terminology is a little different, but you get the gist. And then we also are going to go over sending the list of members you want removed from your roster to software support. This is like the most critical step I can give you in this cleanup checklist, just because if you do not remove these people from your roster, like your graduating seniors or people who dropped, you're going to be paying for people who are no longer in your chapter, and your LegFi subscription fee is going to be higher than it needs to be for pretty much no reason. So that's a super essential step. The second thing is reviewing outstanding balances. So there's a few options here: deleting invoices, writing off balances, and enrolling members in payment plans. Then number 3, I don't know why it bolded the 3, but refunding and reimbursing your members that need it. Maybe you guys don't need to do that, so you can skip that step altogether. And then 4 is just like wrap up outstanding items for your transaction. So that includes assigning revenue and expense categories to them. Also, if you have treasury card purchases, it is best practice to add receipts. So I'll show you how to upload that, and then you guys should be good to go for summer break and hopefully get some time off before getting back to school in the fall. So now I'm going to switch over to LegFi. There's a little sneak peek of the contact info, but I'm switching over to LegFi, so you should be seeing the payables dashboard. And the very first thing we're going to do is do those roster updates. So as you guys know, it's going to be under the members tab. You can see all of your members listed here. So our chapter on this test account has just initiated members and new members. I can organize them by type. For the sake of this webinar, I'm not going to do dropped and suspended members because I think it'd be boring for you guys to watch me do that for every single possibility. And we only have 30 minutes. So I'm just going to show you how to update them to alumni, but it's going to be the same process no matter what. And again, you probably know how to do this already. So the way I have mine done is we've created groups. So I have a group that's for class of 2025. Maybe you guys have this as well. Maybe you have a group called seniors, or maybe you don't have them already organized into groups. If you don't have them organized into groups, you can just scroll through your roster and manually click the names. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the group I have. So I know this group of people are all my members who are graduating. So it already filtered out my list. You can just select all of them, edit it, and then I'm going to move their membership type to alumni. And so now my roster, when I look at it, it has all these alumni at the top, my initiated members, and then the new members at the bottom. So it's super fast, super easy. Again, if you have those groups, this will probably take you like 2 seconds like it took me. If not, definitely click through those and then maybe a project for yourselves for next year. I would recommend using this manage group features and then just creating a couple groups for like your different, not even pledge classes. I would do it by like graduating classes. So that way, you can easily update everybody all at once. Once you do that update, if I filter this by alumni really quick, you can see a lot of my alumni have balances. Now, if I wanted to archive these people and I don't care about adjusting their balance, I could just download this list, send it to software support, and they could archive them. But it would be best practice to update their balances. So what I'm going to have you guys do is go to your invoices tab. And I like to use this advanced filters button. And I'm going to filter it by group. And I'm just going to show all of my alumni. And it's going to update the invoices down here to only ones that apply to my alumni's accounts. Now on here, you'll be able to see like ones that have been deleted from their account and everything. But it is just an easy way. If you organize it by status, you can see all the current or past due ones here. So what you have for your options with these outstanding balances will be deleting them, writing them off, or enrolling them in payment plans. I put in some summer dues today just as an example for deleting. So let's say you put in summer dues, you're like trying to clean up your account, and then you realize you charged all of your graduating members summer dues. What you can do is go through here and you can click these summer dues. We can find them. Probably should have organized it by that status, but this is fine. We can go through like this. And then what we'll do is just write them off. Okay, that should be all of them. Go to actions. I would just click delete. And then I'd put my reason here as like accidentally charged graduating members. I'd put in this example, click yes, delete, and it's going to take a few seconds, but it will delete them from the account. Now to show you the credits. So let's say like some of your seniors have a balance on their account that is valid, like they were meant to get that charge, but like you're deciding it is just not worth trying to collect this from them. I think a good example of this would be, I think there's a late fee on here actually, like a late fee. So Chris has all of his other charges deleted. The only thing on his account now is this $50 late fee. You may decide like it's just not worth trying to collect that. You'd rather archive him. You can select this little check mark here and you can either do 3 dots here because it's one member, or you again can go to this actions column. And this is where I would record a credit. So this is the one we're going to write off. So I just put $50 in here and you could just say like balance write off, or put in whatever you want as your description, and then you'll submit the credit and it's going to credit that off his account. Perfect. Now let me go back. Oh, I want to clear the filters. Now going back to the invoices, the other option you have is enrolling people in payment plans. So this is going to be for your members where the debt on their account is valid, like it's supposed to be there, and you do want to try to collect it from them. What you're going to do is you'll go down to their invoice. You can see some of these are already in payment plans, but we'll use Adam's account as an example, and you'll click these 3 dots and you're going to choose to enroll them in a payment plan. So you'll choose the payment plan button here. I would make sure that you talk to the members before doing this. You don't want to just enroll people in payment plans without them knowing, but I would go through my list of members who have outstanding balances and I would send them an email, or if you have one more chapter meeting for the year, just give an announcement and say like, hey, if you still have debt on your account, if you're not going to be, like paying it this week or paying it by the next due date, come talk to me so we can talk about a payment plan. Once you agree to like terms for that, you can set their payment plan up here. So you would click those 3 dots, payment plan, and let's say Adam came to you and was like, I can pay this off in 2 payments. I just need like a couple months to do it. This is automatically just going to divide it into 2, but if we wanted to add more, you could, turn it to 3. We'll keep it at 2. And then you can change the due date. So you could say it's going to be active today. That's the 7th. And maybe it's till June 7th to pay it. And then the next one will be active June 8th. And then he'll have until maybe July 7th to pay that one. So he's going to break up that debt, pay it over the summer. And then once that's done, you'll be able to move Adam to your archived roster since he was graduating. Or if this is for members who'll be returning next semester, then once they pay it off, they'll just have a current account ready to go for the following set of invoices that you'll be sending out. So we'll create the payment plan here. Again, you can see it's been created, and then when you go through here, it'll show up. So you can see here's Adam's charge that we just broke up. This one's current at $62, and this one's now showing as a future invoice that will hit his account in June. Once that's all done, you've updated your balances. Again, this is a test account. We have like tons of balances we would have to go through, but hopefully for you guys under the outstanding section, there aren't too many for you to go through. You're going to get back to the members tab. I'm going to filter it by alumni. And then these are the members that I want archived off the account because I do not want to pay for their LegFi subscription fee next month since they're graduated. And for most of these guys, I'm not collecting money from them. So what I'll do is just click this little export button. It's going to pop up here. And then what I did is I just think it's easy to delete the rows that have members that I'm still going to try to collect from. And I would just save this. You don't have to give it a fancy file name. If you want to, you can for your records, but you can just save it however it downloads. And then what you're going to do is email softwaresupport@omegafy.com, and you're going to say, hey, can you archive these members for me? Attach this spreadsheet, and they'll be able to go in and archive these members off your account. So that is not a feature that you guys have available, but as employees, like all we have to do is we can click these buttons and then we can go in here and click archive and it moves them right over. So it's a super fast process for us as employees. It's just not a feature that is available on a regular user or a regular admin's account. So you have to send that email over to us. We'll move them over right away for you guys. And then that way it'll be cleaned up off your roster. So if I again, I might need to switch the group really quick. If I go back to the alumni, I could select all of them except these two, and I can go ahead and archive them. So they're off the roster. Now, once you archive them, they aren't going to show up on this active roster, but if you ever need to pull like information from their account, all you have to do is go to archived and they're all going to be listed here. Also, if there's anyone who accidentally gets archived, like maybe you think Harris is graduating and then it turns out he's going to be a December grad, not a spring grad, you could email us and we can move him back to your active roster. He won't have to like make a new account. You don't have to like add him as a new member. We can recover. It's not even recovering. We can move his account back to active. So again, just email us and let us know with that software support email. The next thing on our cleanup checklist is going to be refunds and reimbursements. So refunds are going to be for giving members back money that they paid through OmegaFi, like through LegFi. So the way you could do that is you'll go to payments, and let's say you owed Adam a refund, like he paid on this invoice, but he didn't mean to. It wasn't an invoice he was supposed to pay. What you can do is click details, and there will be a button up here. I actually have the help article pulled up. You'll have this issue refund button that you can click, and it'll take you through the steps of choosing how much money you want to give back to him, and then you'll issue the refund. You'll be able to pick which account you issue it from, all of that. But you'll be able to go and do that. I just can't show you on this test account because none of our payments are real. So they're all recorded as offline check or cash payments. It does have to be a payment that was made through the LegFi system in order to refund them. But just know that that feature's there. Again, it's a super quick process. It's only a few clicks. Once you've done refunds, you can also do reimbursements. So you'll go to the payables tab. This is only going to be available if you have a treasury account. If you have an external bank account, we can't issue the reimbursement for you. You'll have to do that outside of LegFi. So you'll have to Venmo them or cut them a check or I don't know, like take cash out of your bank account and like give it to them to reimburse them. But if you do have a treasury account, you can reimburse them here. So let's say one of your members had bought something earlier in the semester for like a function or for formal or for recruitment or anything, and you still have to pay them back. You have two options. You can either add them as a payee. This is going to be all of your vendors. So you would click add payee. You're going to go through this and have their name, their account number, all of that. The account number, you'd probably just put in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something, because it's not like a vendor where you'd have an account number like your, I don't know, like your power bill or something. So you can just put numbers in there. You can do it this way, or the faster way to do it is go to the dashboard and you click Quick Pay, and then you can choose a payee. So I guess you have to add a pay either way. But you could fill this in, and then instead of having to add a bill, you can go here to dashboard, click Quick Pay. That's a bit of a tongue tie. You can choose their name from here. So if we were, reimbursing Chloe, we would choose her name. You choose the expense account. So maybe it was for, I don't know, maybe she bought something for the house. You did that, and then you could choose today to pay her. You choose the account you want to pay from. So if you have multiple treasury accounts, you can select that, and then the amount, maybe we owe her $15. You can add the notes, and then you can also upload files. So this would be a really great place if you're reimbursing a member. Hopefully they provided you with a receipt of what they bought. I would upload that receipt here. So I would be like, can you text me a picture of that receipt for, I don't know, maybe you bought like cleaning supplies for the house. She could text that over, and then you would upload the file here. So that way that receipt is attached to this payment. So if somebody a year from now goes and looks like, why did we pay Chloe? You'll be able to know exactly what you were paying her back from. You also would add a note here. So I'd say like, like reimbursement for cleaning supplies. And then we could have her receipt here. And then when we click add payment, it will go ahead and create that payment. It may take a second on this test account. Perfect. And then you can see it there. Now it is showing as unapproved, so you can click this approve button. I can't do it because I'm an employee, so that's just something they put in for us not to be able to actually like move money in and out of these accounts. But y'all will be able to click that green button. It will approve it, and then it'll send out her payment either by a mail check, or it can be direct deposit. You can see here it says payee's choice, which means it'll email her, and Chloe can decide like, I want to do a mailed check, and she'll put in her address, or she'll choose I want an electronic payment, and she'll put in her routing and account information, and it'll direct deposit into her bank account. The last thing I'm going to have you guys do is clean up old transactions. So this is kind of similar to this, but a little different. You'll go to this transactions tab, and this account, again, it's a test account, so it's a little messy. Y'all should be probably better looking than this. But what you're going to do is go through your ledger accounts, and any transaction on here that's uncategorized, you're going to click this 3 dots, click edit, and then you want to assign either revenue or expense category based on the type of transaction it is. To be able to go in and do that. Again, this has a ton of uncategorized ones because it's a test account, and our IT team just had to put in like a bunch of data for us even to be able to use this for webinars. But a lot of yours may have automatically like applied revenue and expense categories. So if you have to think, as you're collecting money from like your crowdfunding, like if you're doing fundraisers or selling merchandise or tickets, whatever you chose that revenue category to be for those tickets, whenever people pay, it's going to automatically record it here on your transactions tab. It's really only for like outside transactions that it may show up as uncategorized. An easy way to see if you have uncategorized expenses is under the finance tab. If you go to budgets, it'll tell you here how many you have. So you can click this link and it's going to take you back to the transactions. Now on this test account, it takes a really long time to load because there's so many uncategorized transactions, but y'all's will load really quick. The other thing I'm going to have you do is similar to the reimbursements where you're adding receipts. If you guys use treasury cards, another step that we really recommend is adding your receipts for your transactions to your like ledger accounts. So if you guys had like a treasury card, you would probably know this. There's like going to be a picture of a card here, and you can click into it and you'll be able to see all the transactions. Now this account, we don't use it a ton. So I'm gonna have to go back in time, but you'll have all these listed here. If it was a card payment, like money that came out of this treasury account because of the card, there will be like a picture, that card icon again. So it's really easy to identify them. And what you'll want to do if you have those receipts is just click this little paperclip icon, and then you can drag and drop the images there. So that way, again, you just have record of all the money you guys are spending. And that way there's no questions. Like if somebody sees, you're the officer, no one's gonna be like, Hannah, why'd you spend $100 at Walmart? It's easy for me to upload the receipt and they can see everything I bought went towards an event or went towards our house or whatever it may be. It's just an easy way to make sure that you're keeping accurate records of all the money you guys spent. So with that, those are the 4 main things that you really need to do to clean up your account before the semester's over. I recommend doing a lot of these things throughout the semester. So when you get to the end, there's really like not much for you to work on. But at a minimum, I would just try to catch up now. So that way when you come back in the fall, everything's set and ready to go and you aren't having to go try to remember what different transactions were, have to make account adjustments from things that happened, you know, 3, 4, 5 months ago, and just trying to keep track of all that gets really confusing. So definitely go ahead and do that. But with that, let me go. I think there may be some questions. Oh, Aiden said, can you show how you did that one more time? Um, Aiden, do you know what part I was at? It may have been the members. I wish I would have seen that sooner. My bad. Oh, let's see. It should let you like comment on your thread. Oh, let's see, there's a new post. Oh, switching multiple members to alumni at once. Yeah, okay. So there's like a couple ways to do it. If you don't have them already categorized into like a seniors group or like a graduating class, you'll have to scroll through your roster, but what you'll do is just select their names. So let's say all these people were graduating. Once they're all selected at the top, it says actions. You don't want to click this actions because it's only going to do it for that one member. You have to do it from the top. And then you can click edit and it has this update settings. So you can choose their membership type and you would just change it here. So you could change it to like other, or in your case, it'd probably be like alumni or disassociated. Now these ones that I selected are actually users that we like need to keep on this test account, so I'm not going to actually change it. But this is where you would go. You would just click this membership type, choose the type you want to switch it to, click apply changes, and it'll do it in mass. And then the way I categorize those, again, if you want to do this like going forward, is under manage groups. You can create a new group. So let's say you have like December 2025 grads. You can make a new group and then you could go through and just select all the people you know that are graduating December 2025, click Save Changes. And then that way, like at the end of next semester, you'll be able to go in here and you can just do it all at once, filter it, select all, and then you'll go to Actions, Edit, and then you'd make them alumni. So just as like a quick little shortcut. Were there any other questions? I know we only have like a few minutes left, but again, I can stay as long as anyone needs me. And I can also double check that there weren't any like pre-submitted questions. I don't think we had any pre-submitted, so we should be good. Okay, too easy. I will switch back to my PowerPoint then. This is that contact information you guys will want to have if you don't already have it. That software support email at omegafy.com is one that you definitely want to write down because that's what you're going to use when you email us to archive your members. So either take a screenshot of that or write it down, do whatever you have to do. And then there's also the phone number, and then the in-app help is that question mark icon. I can show you it one more time. Anytime you need help, you can go to our help center just by clicking this button. It'll take you here. I have it really zoomed in, sorry. And then you can search whatever you're needing help with. We also have a LegFi University. It'll have me log in, but these are courses that you can take. It's still being built out. It's kind of early on, but something that we recommend for like new officers, for example, under here is we have this pathway. It's for beginners, and it just takes you through like the basics of OmegaFi. So you can enroll in these. It's free. You already are a user on it. You just have to log in with your normal LegFi account, and you can go through, take these courses. Some of them have certificates, so once you finish, it'll like download a nice little certificate for you. But that also is there just as a training tool for you guys to be able to reference. But with that, if there are no more questions, we are going to end right on time, which is great. So I appreciate you guys joining me. I know you guys are busy with finals, but hopefully this was pretty quick and painless, and you guys have a few to-do items that you can knock out in the next week or so to make sure your account's ready to go. If you have any questions, send us an email. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks.